Swing of a one, outdrum the outcome. The child of Atlas is back in action. Fact, not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials with whack acting. From commercial to action, I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson, like a Gatlin, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. Etheric technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass is Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil, who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society, where the vax and the mass are the blame for the dying spree. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you, or read through these fools. Restore or rebel. Can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion. So please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late or hollow years. See the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective. Decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace, where each one teach one to reach one, freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes. Word to see Lord L. I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. Something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fuse my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little sun, I got Brian I could think to. I blink through a wrinkle in time. Rip Van Winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too. To link you to source, yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They want to extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, your oppressors liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the seventh cycle. The heart of man is as the sun. The reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of the sun, the quintessence, the stone of the wise, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. I teach you up. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. This is a call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling immense pressure. Sun on store each clan better. Plant and the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther. From Castilians to conquistadors. Iberians, traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders. Missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for treaties and oath. I expect more from those who want to conquest except war. They didn't bring women during the invasions. The minds were on rape, miscegenations, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Washington, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcy and Brooklyn, projects and hoods where we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Arlie Cushion, it's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot the sheriff meaning. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the animals. I bring heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this canonical. If your brain's deeply maniacal, release or get treated damnable. Used to be Hannibal, I talk black hole. Fighting the line, now the chief's back will bulk. That's big muscle drip up to tussle with Uncle Sam, Big Brother, and his clique. I put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must we band together. Plant and the devil to stand the weather. Sun on storm, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors. based on real life. It's nothing like the old school. High vibrations is what it feels like. It's nothing like the old school. This goes way back, before I was knee deep out in them streets, gangling. Like the prison and that old crazy mess. This is what really makes me me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise, eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows and my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm. Excellence, how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I bring the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jinn's whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us for the Pontius Pilates, Kiheras, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names the cost of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference. Had telescopes, microscopes, chemistry sets, books, maps, paints, carpentry tools, wrote poems not yet known as raps. Learned alphabets and mathematics from my mama. Learned meditation and martial arts from my father. Watch my uncles create music, so I beat drums, play keyboards with my dad, the guitar he strummed. Didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums, not knowing this was part of who I would become. True story. This is based on real life. It's before all else. Jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, it's what it feels like. True story. This is based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations, now around it feels like 1982 was no longer separated from the outside world off the porch. Yeah, I made it. First noticed her standing in my b-boy stance. Leapt at the chance and began to break dance on wooden floors. I got sore from the workout. It was me, Chili T, my man Shabazz Muhammad, and Phil G. When I met her on 93rd, next Jeffrey Manor, master of all crews, was written on my banner. The manner of my approach. Yo, I rocked her. World with backspins, atomic flares, and helicopters, hella proper. Guys that were awesome, tried to get fresh. Up at Basma and on commercial, attempted to test a bus moves on linoleum. Loved her on cardboard, roughed it off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Poured my heart into her around the time I met Dula, Yusef, Rashi, Stony Island Park, CVS, School, the battleground, found passion. Another element turned my heart into graffiti, evidence of being present. Taggers united together, network of writers who most times put all-nighters. True riders, 1987, we were kings of the line. Won the epic war with Sass on the dead rhyme. My guys, Dickie, Tron, Advance, Plain Sound, and Vanish. I do this for you and the true TUG clan is the bandits. True story, it's based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, that's what it feels like. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations is what it feels like.
True story.
Let's clear this up. I am the great matriarchs, give to America, rare, uncut, sun-complected, yet gain wretched of the earth. Though my old blood's majestic, shall it shed the most rejected. Nevertheless, check the record of my birth. Never read a book for knowledge of myself. The silence I felt, not from wildness of wealth, but from rawness of my breath. I receive meditatively. My mother and father educated me. I author faith creatively. I walked through a few schools of thought that truth is art and has no cause, yet the cause of everything. Falsehood is law, yet the manifest of right. What's in darkness comes to light. These words Timothy didn't write, that didn't quite shit well. We're the gang of y'all when it comes to fiction. Hell, truth is stranger, y'all. I came to y'all to bring the fault of a government that's been de facto and the enemy of so-called black folks. I mixed with being realistic and amidst it. How's it we've allowed this shit from golden fire now cryptic? Are y'all complicit in spirit with the metaverse? Metaphysics also makes me America's curse. I'm not in competition with men or women. I'm defending my household from those who are pretending garbed and skinned the same as us, taking up the same name as us, who attempt to claim the same reign as us. Y'all be satisfied with societies like Westworld, where Bernard's really Arnold. Dolores is your best girl. Universal soldier and robot is now the task force. The vast passport is on its own crash course. With or without y'all, I'ma own my role and bring fire upon them. Fast on my soul. Y'all waiting for the Galactic Federation to come save y'all. Another United Nations site up to further enslave y'all.
This primordial ram of Tiamat, she has some younger children in a nutshell. One by Marduk, which is known as Marduk in one mythology, which is known as Amun-Ra in another mythology, which is known as Yahweh in another mythology, which is known as Zeus in another mythology. She had these younger gods.
Forgot I had that on me.
She went to war with her and one of her consorts called King, which was one of her earlier sons and her consorts. She went to war with them.
I hope TikTok brings some of them goofy ass fake African Americans over here so I can burn their ass and then set up a date for a podcast. Some of these young goofy new age niggas, especially a couple of them fed ones. I like to jump in their shit so they can earn their paycheck. And they had their ass embarrassed and hiding. Sell out worthless niggas. I can't stand them. Let's see them in the end anyway. Yo, Toodle. Yo, Toodle Z, I know you come over and check it out. Check it out. Yo, beloved. The faggots, YouTube, all the platforms are good platforms, but the faggots in the government who are monitoring these, they tried to copyright a couple of your songs. So what I did was I cross-referenced the music because, you know, I was able to do what I need to do to get the music using my boys, I hate saying the word because I guess the guy is still running around. I think he's part of the game, you know who I'm talking about as far as computers and stuff. And we were able to lower your verbals a lot just to get the music. So we did a cross chase. Music samples everywhere, and you don't have to pay for it. That's like police making arrests. For those who aren't aware of where the word arrest comes from, the French and the Anglo-French narrative, which is a new made-up term, it's to detain or hold. But we always say, I'm detaining you because of this is what the police say, because of my investigation. Excuse me, I'm not there to help you with your investigation. See, y'all don't know the Constitution, and 90% of the damn police don't know the Constitution, not at all. A lot of it is steeped in racism. When I first proved that the first police officers and marshals here were us, everybody started losing their going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, especially some of the guys who I served with. They were like, dude, we didn't know. I was like, then why are you getting so excited? You know now, people have a hard time dealing with the fact that Mark Twain, George Orwell, and all these other individuals who tell you over and over that history has been rewritten all the way through. In order for the Zionists, y'all like to say Rothschild. That's a made-up name. That is not what his name is. Their name are, just like the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers and so forth. That is not their real name. Those are stolen identities. That's like when people say, well, you got Kaiser, Schein, and Schaust. And yes, I speak German, but in your family. I said, so what? I said, all y'all want to do is pick up this retarded Moore stuff. And I said, you didn't even study to see and edify yourself to see who created that. But that individual had 51 aliases. Somebody said 41, 42, and I was like, you know what? See, now I'm the guy that said in the Black Panther meetings, right? Because of Pops and them, and him telling me that it was actually created by feds, just like the Black Power movement, the feminist movement, the CIA, the OSS, by the League of Nations, or later the UN, and everybody was sitting there going, no way, because you love to sally forth in that disease that is giving you what they've given you. So you are a handout taker. You don't like anything that goes against anything they've done. You know, let me tell you about these things. All right. They every time a reset's done, they are very aware that you're going to remember. So they better equip themselves to do as much as they can, even while you're alive, because you believe in a system that has been created, which is a perversion. Medicine is a perversion. To inoculate and further test, even in your period, that the babies don't remember, regardless how many die, knowing that they're going to come back. They haven't been told not to go into the light. They have not been expressed to ground. They have not been told anything. That's why a lot of you still right now on top of your refrigerators and in your cupboards, you have cereal that you really need to go and throw away and stop worrying about well, it used to be 50 cents, 20, 25, 50 cents. Now it's $5 and $6 for a box of cereal. You need to go and throw all that garbage away. Now, if you got meat in your freezer, partake, but do not add carbs, because then you rob your system. If you're eating vegetables, do more of that and a little bit of fruit, usually in the AM. When I mean AM, I'm talking about 12 or anywhere between 5. After that, it should be strictly plant-based proteins. We're talking about chickpeas, certain pumpkins and squashes. Keep away from a lot of melons, because a lot of those are new. Unless you can unless you have heirloom seeds with like 1 or 2 genetically modified. So there's still benefits there. Okay? How many of y'all drink Celsius water and Prime and all that crap? FD yellow or red 40, whatever that's called, is made literally. I was just reading it with human fetuses. Now, I'm not going to go through the process. That's just a direct, so you can go and research it yourself. We don't even get into how many times, and they've been paid off and shut down, they have found human DNA in all the fast food, this, that, and the other. Yet people line up. Let's say I had to run out, and I had to go all the way down my Gunfighter Canyon, blah, blah, blah. And it was just a line out there at Burger King. Even the foreigners are eating that crap. And they don't even have the same stuff there as they do here. Yet I watch Big Homie Blocks and Xavier. You know, she's acting real stupid. This is what happens when you eat all that garbage and drink that badass wine she's drinking. I'm not damning her. I've even commented and says, what are you doing? They're broke up because the man has to learn. Big Homie Blocks' mother, it's not the best mother, but that's his mother. Many of us had mothers like that. Many of you are mothers like that. A lot of us didn't have good fathers, because we are dealing with a time anywhere from the 50s on up, where that next phase or season of destruction would start. But we don't damn them or curse them. I buried mine. They should be here today. My mother is arrogant in her ignorance. There are things that she's aware of, that she's come into knowledge of. I forgave her a long time ago. I think I was the only one. And yet she hides herself. Though she's moving, you all know how you do. And I would love to see people come around from that and change up. There are a lot of things going on in this world. And all y'all do is you just do this. And the worst thing about it, you're not even asking. You just got so comfortable with doing this. I ask because I share with you, how you say it? The bounty. We share it. I get a mass to come in, and then I deliver a good that I mostly pay for. And though I haven't, because actually I'm the principal keeper, because I can analyze things. And you'll get there too. And I share it. So therefore, it's not a handout. It's not a food stamp. It's not, you know what I mean? Our people never needed handouts. Up until 1960, our people really never took, after all we've been through. And we're gonna go back out, okay, Papa? Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. You got it. Come on. Good job, Papa. Good job. Very good. But the thing is, people don't like to hear that, you know? So I welcome them to come over here with their foolish endeavors because they can easily manipulate any of y'all who are still in the debate and argument period without having traveled the majority of this earth. They probably never jumped out of a plane unless they're ex-military or some secretive whatever and trained, because that's part of it. They won't tell you because that would divulge a little more information. Never learned how to fly a plane. Never built anything. Never swam in the deep oceans unless they were special forces or something, which is that's just retarded, because the enemy wants to control the narrative. They're very preoccupied enemy. And I would just really enjoy people stop being so stupid. I don't debate and argue with anybody. No one. It's real cinnamon. I put a little more than a tablespoon of cinnamon because I wanted to see something. Holy smack. It's like, that's good. It's hot. See this thing? It's just, I'm in that mode. It's like I grabbed the tea bags this morning and it was steam rolling off. I didn't even feel the heat. Yesterday I was like, ooh, I have the moment, y'all. But I already explained to you how you can acquire these things and even walk barefoot. People around here always see me when I'm standing in the snow for like an hour barefoot when I'm grounding, and they're like, and then they ask me, it's always, why were you barefoot in the snow? And I'm like, why are you asking a dumb question? Because I chose to stand in the snow barefoot. That's the answer you're going to get. Now learn how to ask a proper ask. And I talk like this, so learn how to ask a proper question. I was just curious. Well, you didn't sound like it by that dumb question you asked me. And usually they walk away and then they come back later. I didn't mean to make you, I don't feel no kind of way. You're already asserting yourself in your ignorance of how you've been reared. You haven't been nurtured properly. Anyone will tell you over here, you see somebody standing outside in the winter in the snow, barefoot with shorts and a tank top or shirtless, all right, for an hour. And it's 20 degrees. Yeah. And they're sitting there going, and I'm home, chom, crom, and I'm doing things. And they're like, his feet ain't this. And they want to know. They can't know. Most of you can't accept it because when you do it, the first thing you do is, you know, and then the worst thing, you put your feet in hot water or your hands in hot water when it's supposed to be cold water to break balance. These individuals have lied. And it's not old lies. They're lying now. Okay? And people are ignorant to it. That's why I gave that little synopsis. All right? You have these individuals who are paid. And I always ask them, so what fraternity you belong to? Because some people go and see, and they see my picture, and they see, you know, and they say, oh, okay, well, I can relinquish. No, I already know, but I want to see what kind of stand-up man or woman exists. And I always come to find out, none. None. Just monkeys, monkeys in a cage. I'm having doughs mixed with rice. Fabulous. I took half and half a teaspoon. That is just phenomenal. I mean, it's supposed to be usually the quadriceps, right? The same mushrooms. Oh my, that might be my new staple. Stop whining. It sounds like you need a female or two. As long as I don't want to get like them poodles, they be humping on their beds and stuff. I don't get that. But anyway, right? I'm going to upload some videos. Now, this is all for, I guess you could say, educational purposes. My opinion has nothing to do with what I'm going to upload, okay? I really would like to, I saw some, I didn't respond. I just said exactly, or I hit the like and the heart. So you guys can go back and see that. I may start replying when I get something that's substantially meaningful. I will reply. If you make a statement, I accept everybody's statement. I always say nobody's wrong or right. I accept whatever it is you say, unless you're just being debatorily argumentative. And I know that you're ignorant. And it's usually people who I don't know. I just look at them and be like, I don't need your subscription. Yeah. Welcome to those who have subscribed. That was a reminder by me saying that. Appreciate you. All right. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the clan. So anyway, well, jump back up, man. You're just like, no, he wants to be outside. I mean, he's going to be outside a couple hours a day. Anyway, I love to hear him talk. I loathe it for sure. Anyway, people have a hard time accepting we're dealing with lies. Right now, I watch light-skins sit there talking about, well, the Jews. First of all, a bunch of people coming from Germany, Russia, and England, going to Palestine, murdering a bunch of people, when it's well known. Ben Yagurian, he already told you what they did and who they are. The fact that they are not Jews. The original Judean, we were in all four corners. There is a remnant in the Palestinian people there, yet there are gypsies there who don't partake or parlay. They were left over from the wars that went there and subjugated the people of that land now called Palestine. All right? It's behind me. Anyway, and it's mind-boggling, and well, it's not mind-boggling because, like I said, I met some very dark Palestinians that used to say to me, "Those are not the Jews. We are the Hebrew, Judeans." I was like, "I know, just like we are." And he says, "Oh, we know." They know. Remember, I said, I'm talking about 1986, y'all, when I went there, and 89, I believe, a year or two before the worthless war that we shouldn't have been in, and there's a storm murdering people on a land we weren't supposed to be over there and doing nothing. They do this contextually because they find something they need it. They need the resources and they need to change the government and they need to have a distraction so they can go over there and do the things that they do. And who they use? The dumbest people. So you have a lot of so-called black African-American monkeys running around proclaiming, you're African American because they have kinky hair and they're dark skin. These are idiots. When the majority of people in Ghana and everywhere else are coming back, even though a lot of the people they're fighting are people who, from our ancestors went there over a century ago. Over a century ago. Even 2 centuries. Okay? I have pictures of the original Guyanese. Their hair didn't get no bigger than this. So who are these people walking around with dreads and everything else? Nobody pays attention from the 60s on up. We don't have to go back to, the early 1800s, y'all. Well, those fleeing war and murder. We can just go back to the 60s, from there on up here. All right? And you can see this. Why is it that people don't do this research with readily available information? Because they're being betrayed by the same niggas you see today, like the ones that betrayed you before, and the ones from time immemorial that created the catastrophe we're in right now that allowed it, who knew better. And the ones who are behind the scenes. It all comes to an end regardless, right? What I'm saying is some of you need to take this with urgency. You dig? I don't know how many of y'all in here, but hey, Max V, T Hans do. I don't know how many of y'all in here because they're manipulating things. If you want, you can go ahead. That's all they know how to do. It's good to have you up in here, brothers. You can go ahead and let people know, and just always let me know. I'm not new to this. And most people sit and say they're not. And I'm here to tell that most of you are. I would say 99.9% of you are new to this. I don't care what you've come across in the last 7 years. I look back at 12 years ago when everybody got on this little ride. It was only a handful of people. And at that time, when I used to discuss with them, I say, stop calling yourself black. Now some of them have realized it. So it takes time. I said, stop calling that land Africa. You see, how come nobody recall all the wars that have gone on over there? And the displacement, disbursement, the children turning to soldiers, the cannibalism, the murders, the setting people on fire, people who are innocent, more innocent have died than those who are combatants. Been subjugated to the turmoil of those who are perversion. Being a soldier is not a warrior. A soldier is not a warrior. I don't care if they went and fought. Warriors don't seek to fight by omission. Then I break down the original so-called samurai. They weren't the people in Japan you see today. People are starting to now find out. And they're starting to find out a lot of history. And you have a lot of perverted light-skinned folk because they love the fake world they live in that paints them in this excellent picture and that everybody had long flowing hair. Bullshit. That's new too. All right. And they're starting to see that, oh, wait, there were whole villages of these so-called black samurai. And so the first thing the fake Jews do is to go in there to clean up. Oh, yeah, they had actually came there from Africa and they create this new fictional story. When I met some of the people in Africa who still look like the people over in Japan who have no ties to them, who say, no, no, no. They don't even speak loud. All the men walk around bald-headed. The women have the most perkiest breasts and the most beautiful way their legs are shaped. And you would think they were Japanese. They don't like getting into conflicts. The Dogon know them. The Maasai mixed in with them a little bit. Oh, y'all didn't know that, did you? Oh, that's right. Y'all know everything. Because you follow these worthless ass niggas who push black this and that. Homosexuals sitting there with Sarnetta with a big anchor around their head telling me, I'm going over to Africa and my wife, these frauds. But nobody wants to have that conversation. That's why nobody likes to debate me. And for good reasons, but I don't like to debate. I think it's stupid. I think it shows the character of dummies. It's funny how people want to fight and argue instead of coming together to say, we will stick together, we hold our stories, yet we have something and when we come to the relevance of what is and what isn't, we will move beyond that. When did it start that we have to fight and argue to where we divide and hate is established? A perimeter of a fake wall. When did it start? Can anybody say? How about around 1972? Go and look at Detroit. Go and look at St. Louis. Go and look at what you see going on in Palestine by these fake Jews. Look at Alabama. Look at the swamps and the rural places in Louisiana and the Georgias. Go study the stories. Look at California with our so-called Mexican brothers, right? The fact that they didn't find it. It was never Mexico. That whole cutout mark because of the soda and all that, those were European niggas coming to look at the land they knew nothing about because of the wars. A new generation hidden from the truth. And they saw these great cities that they would have you thinking is Athens and Greece. A new narrative. Talking about Texas or Mexico. No, it was not. It was Louisiana. Why do you think the French Foreign Legion was fighting you? Y'all don't know nothing. You accept every time they change the narrative to keep you stuck in this place of complacency and hypocrisy and idiosyncrasies. That's the reason why the Mormons went to Mexico. Because they're key holders of the truth. I had a conversation and they be sitting there like, see, this is what a whole lot of death does. Remember in the 60s and 50s, we was still, boy, we was off the chain. You don't know that, do you? Man, they was living and loving life down there. Up here, they was scared to come. There wasn't no Mexicans on the East Coast. That's the only reason why you got that now is because you have a bunch of dumb niggas over there and foreigners playing a role who may be from here, who don't know no better, who sold the fuck out. A lot of Hindus who are half-breeds and Eritreans who are stupid, who don't know no better, and Ethiopians who are fucked in the head. Come and debate me. I've already offered some rabbis. I even went to their page. Come over here. Let's set up a podcast. I'll come to yours and let's have this debate. I want you to pull up all your little fake ass scrolls and documents. I said, no, something's letting them know. Don't fucking do it, because I will fuck their world up. I'll spread them like the processed cheese on a piece of worthless ass carbo-enriched, arsenic-laced lead fucking Wonder Bread. I'll spread them on it like a son of a bitch. Hold on, man. Hold on for a second. Let me play this right quick. We're going to get to the bottom of this bullshit. I don't care if these motherfuckers are suicide. That's their problem.
Yo kid, you can take my advice and dismiss the current hit list. These cats are getting fat from facades and illusions, causing grief and confusion. God knows the rap game need a new son. Here I am, here Lord, you can use me. Please don't let the industry abuse me, and let the anointing choose me. And the sheep that's walking asleep, mirage that's groovy. I'm taking strong stance and they can't move me. I'm armed with the verbal Uzi. I'm on my good foot and watching my steps quiet as kept. If you gamble, place your bets, for God is with me. And there's no way to win playing the odds against me. Most of these cats are money, but their soul is empty. And they guilty as the one who stole Creepy Kenty. 1 million man gather won't change a thing. If we only choose to hate a slang or gang bang, we would never see a change. Are you tired of this rap music? Are you tired of this rap music? Yes. Yo, I know you are. Be real with me. Hold on for the second verse. Can you hear me now? Look, it should be crystal clear. Can you hear me now? It's like I'm right in your head. Can you hear me now? I have a real important question. Can you hear me now? Get your pen as I wreck it. I'm making moves, Blackberry kept close. It's a hustle and slang dope tracks on both coasts. In the Gulf of Mexico, they all know. In yo, bro, they feeling the pulse and they begging for more. Perceived as dirty, although I'm clean as a whistle. Precise flows target your heart like missiles. And when I hit the mark, I blow you out in the dark. Whether you're straight as an arrow or you're prone to spark. How could you think things for us gonna ever get right when they only seen us in a negative light? Just to change things, I'm using all of my might, but yet we argue and fight throughout the day and night. If you're a crackhead, show me who you're basing with. These type of actions go friction in relationship. Maybe it's the person that you're dealing with, causing you to spill off into the illness fit. This time around, it's a change of plans. This time around, it's shameful man. This time around,
I can't stand stupid people.
No longer seeing each other in a negative light. And if the president's right,
and they got a lot of them.
But he's not. If he's obviously breaking God's laws, ain't no man perfect. We all have flaws, but here's a words of wisdom for all.
I'm not surprised with these new age dummies. There's a whole lot of them. Wow. Anyway.
Are you tired of this rap music? Are you tired of this whack music? This big hoe and jack music, I suggest you buy the next music. It's much more than black music.
Yeah, you know how to get my boy Max up in there. Anywho, right? So I just wanted to let a few people who I know would be here, and obviously, you know, they're doing their little bit. I'm not giving no energy. Like I was stating, I'm going to use whatever language, say whatever the fuck I want, however the fuck I want to. Like I said, I have friends who have some counts, a million followers and stuff, who was like, dude, they don't be doing that with the gold English with me when I'm talking shit. I was like, I know. I says, but see, fools are fools. They're dummies. You can't do nothing when people are tasked with a job. Now, when I was in the military, I remember I was asked to do something, and I was like, you fucking crazy. I kept my UCMJ on me. Uniform Medical Courage, just, what you call it? You want military jacket. And I also kept the codes in my wallet or my pocket. And I would say, first of all, immoral, blah, 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 blah. And I says, ain't no way in the world I'm doing it. I have nothing to gain. I know what can come from it. And it'd be somebody who don't know. And I'm like, first of all, what's the oath you made when you joined this? I would say this to an officer. I don't give a fuck. I ain't give a fuck about rank. I have no problem doing the job required of me at whatever position. But when I saw you step outside of that, I don't give a damn what the fake government says. And this, I used to say this in the military. I don't care what the fake government says. And they used to be looking at me like, I say, what's the oath you said? I said, well, here's the oath that I took. And I would repeat it. And they'd be like, well, how you get in the military? I says, well, how the fuck did you? I used to tell them, I want to hear a recording of me of that day when I took my oath. We don't have one, Mr. Branch. Petty Officer Branch. I says, no, yes, you do. I want to hear the motherfucker now. The good old boy network was really fucked up, especially when I was training, because I really wanted to go to SEALs, or I was going to cross out, get out, take the little I forget how long it is, go and knock on the door over in France and join the Legion. I was. I had two friends who went and joined. They told me exactly what to do. I knew exactly what to bring. I like running, swimming. I like cold. I like pain. By that time, though, my injuries, I knew they would show up sooner or later. That I had working with bombs and everything else. No sleep, waking up, being up for 2 days, practice loading nukes and stuff, and fighting fires on 2 carriers and everything. And then the world cruises and stuff. And war. And I kept doing my best to hide from me. It just doesn't work. And I let it be known. Keep playing a line. Just like all these fake ass banks. All this shit. Everything that y'all contend with. But you choose not to come together to make it better, because all your heads working together would be fabulous. And being able to argue and realize that you can retract from emotions and feelings getting out of hand. It can get to a crescendo where it's like, but realize that means you have no control. You know what I'm saying? It's like no control. It takes not the better individual, but the ones who see that and say, whoa, we're losing control. And it's not supposed to go in that direction. Simple words and frequencies and vibrations, that should never happen. But because your frequency and vibration is off, yours has that, for those who know about a blueprint, you know what that is, right? Now let's put a little square on that with a whole lot of lines to it like that, over that. That means either that's removed or needs to be replaced, right? But that's where the connection is, right? Right? I'm only asking. What does that mean, right? Let me get the arm right. Connection, right? I believe some of the people coming here are coming to get a last look. From what I've been listening to, what was explained to me. I haven't accepted it yet, but I'm looking into it. That there's going to be a period here pretty soon. I don't know if it's the next 8 months, a year, where nobody will be able to come or leave or go, or come or whatever. Okay? And I'm starting to actually, well, I don't care about it. That's why it's not important. But I'm starting to actually look at it and see that in a light by way people's, mannerisms and everything. That switch being totally removed or just being cut off, could that be the breaker? I don't know. How do you read blueprints? What do you see? But usually the breaker would be it'll show you a little rectangle or something like that, or show you the lines going down, and then you'll know that this is what, like, capacitor, and these are this is which call board that's got the resistors and then all that kind of stuff like that on it. That's a cute little dog. Anyway, I'm thinking about getting a little dog up here or something, even to take with me. I don't care, just to have, But we have to get back into that where we can communicate like, hey, look, I know, and it's nothing wrong with saying, I know you feel some kind of way, brother or sister, but we don't have to. This is where we get into the nurturing part. We don't have to be all like a filibuster. We don't have to be all explanatory, because sometimes when people explain this stuff, you build up to this point that Christianity, gets this up, and then you act upon it, and it's opposite of what you were supposed to be doing. I've seen people sit there, get up in people's faces, and be like, "Oh, you really don't want to scrap? You really want to scrap?" And then the dude really don't want to scrap, but he was letting you know, just get up off him because he will. And then because you think that now that you believe that rah, and you're feeling, which is a lie, you're in his face. I watched young cats swing on dudes who wasn't going to fight them. And then they got nuffed and snuffed. Then I watched guys who really weren't really about that just take the hits and then come back a week later and blah. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You're supposed to be able to go, hey, whoa. Wasn't meaning to go that direction. That's not even being humbling. That's just saying, because sometimes you got to be not the bigger person, but the person, the individual, the people who realizes, like, oh, I didn't mean for it to go that way. So that way you can work on that and getting that person out of that capitulation and going into that jannah, that darkness that has it doesn't resolve or answer anything. All right. When I forgave my mother, all right, which was a long time ago, it wasn't because I forgot. I forgave her because she had to do it again, and she messed up there with my younger brother and sister. Put the drugs down. Anyway, and out of that comes a lot of, it could be pain. My sisters Kimberly and my brother Dave Andrews, he went to Army, she was Air Force. We were all in the military. Well, my brother Dwight, because they said he was flat-footed. Yeah. But all the rest of us, all of us. Not Pam and Nikki though. They didn't go in the military. She worked, they school and Purdue, the insurance company and stuff like that. So everybody's, like I said. And that was one of the lessons where I had to remember that sometimes we had to pull back. So forgiving my mother doesn't mean I forgot, because if I come across somebody who's in that same predicament and they're young, I can say, sister, does it mean that it's going to be, I'm going to say, look, I don't have the answer. I can empathize. I can't sympathize with abuse of no form. I can empathize on the narrative if I have a deeper understanding now. But it doesn't mean that her youngling, her young sentient one, is the same as me. Okay? So really undeserving of being removed. All right? Yet, how do I communicate that with her? Because when women get really emotional feelings, they can attack anything. When there's not a good man who didn't nurture, help with keeping her sound. Right now, men play more of an important role in a woman's life, a young lady's life, okay, in keeping her bound with that power. Not meaning unmoving, bound, meaning where she can contain it and not cause self-affliction that works outwards. That's how powerful the woman is. Men, you have a strength, which if you internalize it because you don't have the balance of the woman's nurturing, it's the same thing. Okay? It is the same thing. It's Jannah, it's darkness in both faculties. All right? There's supposed to be a connecting classroom of ethics, morals, situational awareness, and it has to stop at the top and make sure that these both walk in the same light on their foundation. You can never step into the shoes of your mammy and your pappy. You've got your own. But having the right nurturing, and that's why these fake families, these fake Jews, whatever you want to call them, these bastards, these sick things, incestual relationships, marrying and keeping it in with each other. And they're a sick disease. They're not going to change. But what's mind-boggling is those who can change. You're not being nurtured even in your old ignorant-ass age to make change, to make betterment. And those that are, they're going to censor them on these platforms where they can reach out and touch someone. A lot of people like to argue and debate, and it gets out of control all the time. I know that there were times like when I was, on this platform, I'm going to share this with you. On this platform, many others, right? When I would be saying something and you got somebody that come out of the left pocket saying, I would say, hey, look, man, this is where I live at. I'll pick you up at the airport. I'll have somebody pick you up. Or you probably got a lot of money. You come and just meet me over here. And we could talk, and then we could do it, and we can handle it any kind of way you want. You got a black belt in Brazilian? Come on, man. We can handle it. There's no umps, no refs, no nothing. Because 90% of the time, they're frauds. And I had no feeling. I was so numb that I realized that without real feelings, because I had removed my feelings, I had become this empty vessel of all this information of not knowing anything. Okay?
Siri.
I'm going to start cursing everybody at that little hint. Well, anyway, I'm not going to say nothing. Just do, right? But anyway, I would invite. And then people remember the times when I traveled home. I would go and hang with my boy Daniel. And I would say, hey, look, I got to roll out. And I'm staying over at my aunt's with my grandmother, but I'm stopping by people's houses and knocking on the door. Some people don't live where I thought they did, and it's new people. And I'm like, well, do you know where they live at? And I go and knock on the door, and they look out the window. I'm like, yeah, come outside. I'll meet you out in the back. Be by myself in a beautiful rental, dressed pretty decent. I don't sound like that now. I don't do that. I was cowboy boots, t-shirt, and jeans, Wranglers, Levi's. And that's it. And I mean, you know. And I go around the back. The dog back there, and the dog ain't even barking at me. I just don't care. I'll snatch the soul about the dog. But they wouldn't. And then the word's going red. Why are you going? What's going on? That's my cousin. I don't care, man. We all kind of related, you know. That's just, and then they all of a sudden stop speaking on Facebook. Stop getting tough. I was ready to go see Jamal Trump down in Georgia, Carolina. I was getting ready to make a trip to drive over there and say, yo, cuz, all that tough, little Masonic, you was in prison. Boy, I don't care about that. I was going to go and check him. I'm going to come and think you want to talk to him. You don't know me from Adam. And I know everything about you. And some other ones, Scott. People want to respect my aunt and all this because of this. But want to be disrespectful, don't know that I would. And I had to take those feelings and emotions, and I had to bottle them up. I had to take all that energy, and I never had to go to the fact that I was a power lifter, that I picking up Volkswagen backs and walking motors out in Napa, holding a damn big block, sitting it on the back of the truck, and everybody in the store going, What is he on? Steroids? Y'all have no clue. All right, y'all have no idea. I wouldn't get rid of a heavy bag until I punched a hole into it. Y'all be thinking it's some kind of game, like, that's not bragging. Tell them across the Yoko there, used to be like, I'm gonna send you some of my dick job because the tiger bomb's no good in your hands. Because I'll be in the back on the res and I'll be boom, boom, hitting for like 45 minutes an hour, like going over the training that I knew was my speed back, you know, working that until I knocked it off the hinge and everything else, you know, got it to what, and I'm sitting there saying, and people were like, what's going on? This is not bragging. I never saw it that way. It was never who I was. And I said, well, how do you get people to be protective and have that kind of energy and refocus it? And I was numb. I had to get rid of these feelings and emotions that I wanted to hurt a lot of folk. No, I would. Some people say, well, I wish you'd try that, come knock on my door. I'd have knocked on your door and you would have did what? Shot me through the door? You would have just ended up committing suicide. That's where you're going to run. You think it's the game, don't you? See, everybody wants to be all this big stuff. I got a little coven of women who are like witches. I could just hit them up and be like, yo, this is the name. And they would get butt naked and white, walk around with the tatties out and everything, with candles and wax pouring everywhere and snakes and crap. Listen to me. You think I'm playing with you? But I can't take that kind of energy. I need energy from morally sublime women. I don't think everybody thinks they know everything. They have their network. They know things that you don't, but they knew that people would wake up and remember faster. That's why they had to change the timeline. They had to indoctrinate you with everything to keep you as far away from your truth. Earth is round, which is insignificant. Who gives a fuck? You stand on a flat surface, right? Making sure you didn't know how to swim. You would not be interested in wanting to go out and learn things about seafaring and diving. Take over it they wanted to. Monopolize on all the things of your history. Believing that you didn't carve out mountains and build magnificent railroads that had to hide that history. And they give you some bullcrap education system. A lot of y'all became teachers in the messed up medical system, and you become nurses and doctors, and you just further harm your own walk. Now we got niggas in New York and all them places all talking when they're indigenous. Oh, everybody's mixed. Everybody's mad because they married a fucking Mongol. So what? So what? And they go like, look, you're I'm a black German. If you want to use a crayon color, you dumb motherfuckers, and indigenous. But before them, because they married, only a few of them married into the family of millions, motherfucker. But I respect that side of my family. Just like the original people y'all call Chinese. Nah, not these ones. The ones that married my family, the original people in the fucking land. Motherfuckers darker than me. I got the goddamn pictures. My cousin in Costa Rica, motherfucker's a nigger. Everybody's a nigger to me, but I'm talking about a melanated. But then you think you know everything because you listen to these dumb motherfuckers because they're capitulated to the system. If they didn't, they'd leave the mother. But they're still right there talking about, oh, shut up. Because the Seneca village, the Seneca Indians were all niggers and they weren't African, but you got these monkeys. And all they do is, in the little world they live in, they're arguing. It's like them fake-ass Jews on the land that doesn't belong to them. You can nurture anybody in a lie and they'll hold that lie because it's fundamentally sound to them. Everybody here thinks I'm Spanish. They don't want to say, no, I'm autochthonous. And they're like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what. You think we just found a new word? I learned that when I was a youngin'. They said, we don't say indigenous. We leave that for everybody else. I was like, okay. Motherfuckers learn a word I've been knowing since before I was a teenager. Little young niggas in there. I'm autochthonous anti. Take the autochthonous out your fucking name, stupid asses. I don't have respect because people lack this. I don't have respect because people are arguing in the staple of holding on to the madness. I don't have respect for frauds. People want to dismiss shit without really knowing. They just want to open their mouth because they're a bunch of emotionally unfit motherfuckers who are far from masculine. Or feminine energy running amok thinking that that's the way because they got a bag of something that I think the dollar is like 25 to 28% less than what it was actually worth, when we know that it's actually worthless. It's just fucking printed ink and paper with some embroidery and shit in it. Everything everybody do is about a fucking bag right now. Everything, when I talk to people, it's all about, I got to do this because of what? They can pull that right from under you right the fuck out right now. And what the fuck are you going to do? First thing you're going to do is be crying and going, what are we going to do? If they did that, that means nothing's worth anything. God damn it, all the shit you're doing with the loan companies, it's all lies. Just like a lot of these people talking shit and don't know what the fuck they saying. It's all lies. Motherfucker be like, the government's fake. What the government saying? I explained, do y'all know what the word arrest means? Right? I gave you a little detain, whatever the fuck, right? But an investigation, it is not your job to do their fucking work. And 90% of the time, it's on some race goofy shit because most of them are dumb as fuck. Like I said, 6 years, 6 months to become a fucking cop. I'm not talking about the little 1 year fucking, or what, 8 months of a police academy, whatever the fuck it is, which is worthless. And we're going to take you to Palestine to show you how we kill people. And you can use the same text in America, to which is unconstitutional. But most of these goofy niggas don't know the Constitution, but they walk around with us against them when they used to be you, right? Like, what the fuck is that? Because you are dealing with criminal entities and elements, but who made them that way? See, this is where we're getting to who's really smart and who isn't. And 2 years to become a fucking barber. And barbers talk to more people and know how to deal with people. A lot of barbers are pretty fucking badass too. You know what I'm saying? I think we should take the barbers and put them through the police academy and take them 6 month motherfuckers and put them and let them cut fucking hair and listen to people. They probably commit suicide. Hey, now, what's up, mama? I was on my other account, but you know they gave me a damn strike for some truth and opinion. You know what I mean? Because when you talk about certain things and you're punching them in the gut, they get a little fucked up in the head. But like I was saying, right? Yeah, baby girl Slaughter. What's going on, mama? But like I was saying, right? Y'all follow Navi. She does some excellent reads, man. I don't comment all the time, but I follow everybody. And excellent goddamn information. Baby girl Slaughter 2, Delusions of Humanity. Y'all know. We're supposed to all network and fulfill something that's very hard to fulfill, and only we can fulfill it. And I had to check in on you. These folks don't, I know. And my other account, though, I'm almost at the point where I can tell this story, but like I said, the enemy is the enemy, and the enemy is working hard. The enemy is the enemy of themselves. But to get to what I was saying is the Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, Rothschild, all the goddamn names, right? The 13 out of the 100, right? Those are the front individuals. And they have this notion that they know everything. Well, they don't. They don't at all. They are far from it. They know exactly what was deemed for them to fucking know. They created race. They created these fake identities. These are the aliens, if y'all want to know what the aliens are. They created all these things, and they took one world identity and created all these different networks using their relations to usurp as they conquered our ancestral soils of this earth. And then they made sure to equip these children, raping all the women of the old world and making these new things, which Arab is not that is not an old ancient thing. Arab is a new creation like everything else. And then doing that and destroying a plethora of real world things, they subjugated you to their order. But they knew that you would remember. This is not the first rodeo. Okay? They knew that you would remember. But they also knew that they had more resistance, ignorance, intolerable out there from the work they've done. That's why I say it's important not to be debating and arguing with mother suckers. I had to extrapolate on the fact of how I used to be when I was on the res, and I said, I gotta get rid of these feelings because I was going around knocking on people's doors. I was locked and loaded. I wanted to bang on people. I ain't want to hear nothing nobody had to say. And for those of you who grew up with me know that I used to be the guy in the back room like this. And everybody be like, yo, watch that guy in the corner, ain't saying nothing. He's known for knocking people out and breaking their jaws. Yeah, down the Rand, Glenfield. That's what I was known for. I told you I was in one of the biggest fights between 4th Ward, the Hollow, Walnut and all that. South End is 4th Ward. And we was in Glenfield, by Grove Street, with Lackawanna Plaza, the big bridges. This is an old Tartarian thing that, like Snoo said, it was Tartarian. This is something we built long ago before the Jews came to New Jersey and took Eagle Rock and took identities and put all them Peckerwoods up there, and most of our people had been killed or fled. And I was in the park right there, school, right? Glenfield, the elementary right across the street where I used to sleep as a youngin'. All right, Miss Winston used to watch over us. And I was standing out in the front between two people I knew. When they started fighting, see, when we used to fight, no, we used to meet up and be like 50 and 50. And it was just hands and feet, headbutts. And I'm serious, y'all. I wasn't no chains and bats. That was when we was fighting them Italians and Puerto Ricans. They used to bring knives and chains, and we still whopped their ass. But when we met up, like some tribal lamb, I was in the middle, and they all ran past me on both sides. Ain't nobody touched me. Nobody. None of them. No, I'm not making this up. It's dead ass serious. I don't even want to explain how many times. Like I said, I have thousands of stories to share. I usually never get the time to share my stories, and lately I have. You can go over to my other channel, and you can go on. I appreciate y'all keep watching those videos. A lot of videos there. We keep it. All right. I appreciate it. But we're in a so-called world. I hate that term. We're in an existence of intolerance. Brothers and sisters, you're going to have to learn how to tolerate. I don't care what you've been through. You're going to have to learn, and real quickly, how to tolerate, have tolerance with one another. All of you are fucked up. Everyone. There's no secrets. Secrets are the things that make you capitulate and bow down to a lie. Because if you're dealing with people who can't handle you telling the truth, then you're dealing with somebody you should not be around because they need as much help as the other individual. These bastards have done their work, and I pointed it out for a long time. I even hit Arabs in the head and says, I said, you know how you became a Muslim? They have no idea what that made up shit they always talking. I said, Muhammad was illiterate. He couldn't read or write. And he was a Negro. And the Gujars murdered him. He was a real individual, y'all. When he had found out what was happening to the indigenous people in Europe, he took all his people from what you think is a desert now of Ethiopia, because there was no fucking African of Babylon. And he took the sword with hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers and started slaying their ass. And one called Moors. That's some made up shit by them motherfuckers. All right, because Berbers were niggers too, who fought against so-called Moors. You're talking about the actual Judean people. They weren't Hamitic and all that shit. And they fought against them in a betrayal-like thing. But they were actually seeking out the Gujar. And so what the Gujar already had, some of their little generations of children raised up in the teens and 20s, right? They utilized them to sack Muhammad and his cousin and murder him. And he said, these people don't know that. They don't have no idea. None of them knew. I said, well, damn, I don't know what kind of books you got over here, but research it when you go to Europe and dig. Some people are coming to realize it. But I says, are you aware that you're a remnant of the original people? I said, whenever they conquer the land, that's why I said it's important to read Arthur Kessler's 13 Tribe. I'm going to read a little use of facts and facts when I get done here. I'm taking my time to say them. So, not a whole lot. I said, as they conquer the lands, they take the women and even the young girls as young as 5 and 6, and they rape them, and they make babies. Sometimes they kill off the mothers. And I said, what do you think they do with them babies? Because they can't have the history passed to them. So they have wet nurses, something we never really utilize. It's funny that we have our people talking about wet nurses. It's not our thing. It's like an indentured servant. We were always wild and free. Wild doesn't mean a beast and an animal. See, this is a misinterpretation of how this language is a spell. But anyway, this is well known. It was actually in the Talmud scriptures when I read to you when they created that. They created rabbis. Whenever I see these Negroes, I always say, come on, we got our rabbis or our preachers. What in the world are they talking about? Just took their little made-up world and they're using it as if they're benefiting people. When all they're doing, a lot of these Negroes are agents. And to keep you confused and conflicted as long as they can. But they take them and they make this new generation of children who are ignorant. And they teach them hate. And them the ones they use to conquer the goddamn land. So when you hear the story of the Bible talking about, father, son against father, and daughter against mother, daughter against father, and son against mother. Where the hell you think it came from? Do you think that's about order? You think that somewhere in natural order those things existed? Every reset is a different thing. It's a different test, a different experiment. And here it is. It's the fastest one. The last reset, your grandma and them was alive. Well, your grandma and them was still alive for those of us born in the 60s and 50s. And your great-grandparents, they knew about it. That's why they taught Tartary, which is another word for another word that I've explained in my old videos. I'm not going to say it. You go watch my videos. All right? In the 18 and 1900s. They taught it up to 1930-something, 40. They taught about Tartary. Though they went about destroying it, but you'd be surprised how many cities still exist that were built by our ancestors. But this is what I always say to people. Let me say this to the Arabs in Palestine, Kuwait, wherever I went overseas. They were everywhere. Mexico is mostly Arabs. Are y'all aware of that? Anyway, I would sit there and say, I always say it like this. How do you not know? Well, how's it our people don't know their truth? And whenever I hear somebody say this out of Africa shit, we got Franz Boas and all them people. And then when they ever speak, and they bring up this Christopher Columbus, I already told y'all his name was Hernandez Zarco and people, and you can go find his whole name if you want, I don't care. And the fact that his cousins, all Negroes, they always knew who we were, and they weren't coming to make war with us. They were coming to give warning. What happened to so-called fake-ass Christopher Columbus, people? What happened to Zarco? This is what I'm talking about. How many cities are buried underwater and under rivers and lakes? They always talk about that one. I told you I was over 27. Now all of a sudden people are found like 12. I was like, well, you ain't looking good enough, motherfuckers. All right?
Potential spam.
They haven't looked good enough. I said, well, you went from one. Now you found about 11 or 10 or 12 more. Keep looking, motherfuckers. So that means I wasn't wrong, but you don't know. You don't want to look because you're happy with what they gave you. Fucking handout. Lazy. Nothing wrong with your joints. Nothing. Just mentally fucking incapable. It's the world we're dealing with. I was watching this pathetic ass gangster girl over there in Cali with a certain individual. She said she was cool with his brother or his son or whatever the fuck. And she was sort of tatted up, crip shit, you know. Finger on his head, but seeing how you ain't here, what we gonna do? And I'm like, this bitch ain't even really from Cali. Most of their family's from Chicago, St. Louis, New Jersey. 80 to 90% of the niggas in LA are from goddamn Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, goddamn it, Nebraska. Punk motherfuckers ran because of what was going on, settled up the fuck over there. And now everybody's a motherfucking badass when the whole thing is a derivative of what the fucking feds did on a big experiment level from the 60s to 70s. But nobody want to have that conversation. And all you see is this immolation of self-centered hate. They've experimented on every fucking piece of this soil, tested everything on everybody, especially in the prison systems, and yet motherfuckers want to run around like they really know what they're doing, like the badasses. No, you're conflicted, confused, and you're dumb. Ain't no woman supposed to be in that position, moving on a man like that, unless she has the men and this for the proper. This is what I'm talking about, proper reason. But because people are so fucking broken, they're still harboring and holding on to fake ass religions. They have a hard time accessing their truth, so that let their strength come out. They can't tolerate when a real motherfucker come around because it's something new. They don't know that it's about control that they have not. And then when you say you have no control, they think that, well, I'm going to remove myself like it's going to benefit and it's going to create some invisible control when they don't even know the fucking truth because they refuse to accept what the truth is. And so therefore we got the spiraling effect instead of this ascension that needs to be happening because of disproportionate, improper nurturing, and motherfuckers have a hard time when somebody come along and they give them that fucking fact. These motherfuckers did a good job on everybody. They did a good job on every fucking body. And you know who's been telling the truth? The motherfuckers who break off from Zionism. When even Zionism is a disrespect to the will and circle of life and Zion that is from Utah to Grand Canyon. It is. More motherfuckers are starting to find pyramids that have always been there in California and everywhere. And I'm like, this because you niggas wasn't looking. You're too busy doing what the fuck they've scripted you to do, running around in the streets. Somebody got rocks over here. I got meth. I got some good weed. I'm going to get this job. And fuck you, nigga. You didn't come up. And everything else that keeps everybody divided. It's like my father when he was shooting them coke. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is you doing, Pops? That ain't our way. Nigga, Vietnam, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, you making excuses, but you always telling me. He gave me good information. Now, don't get it fucked up. But he's always telling me. You know what I mean? The hypocrisy. And then I started saying, wait a minute. And then I realized it was deeper than what I could comprehend. So he always made sure that I was well aware. If he didn't have, he made sure I had it. He said, respect grandma. I know your mom, just still respect her. Pay attention. He used to come out of high school, middle school. He used to stand out there. He was always clean to be somebody who wanted to be homeless, and always getting locked up in Rikers or Sing Sing, you know, robbing banks and shit. Big old motherfucker. You know, I was sitting there looking, I'm like, fuck, I'm supposed to be listening to you. But what he said made sense. My grandmother, she had a notion. She said, I know your father coming and visiting you. She said, just listen to what he's got to say, that's all. My godfather, Tony, Same thing. He said, look, you know, I'm a man. I'm younger. I'm Godfather. Your dad come around, you fucking listen to him. We're good men, broken by the war and everything else, and the interference by the goddamn OSS, CIA, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the feds. But because y'all choose not to come together and stay in that world, you like to capitulate to the world they gave you. You are afraid of stepping your feet off that fake ass boat. Get on that plank and walk the fuck off and step into that ocean and allow yourself to swim, motherfuckers. You motherfuckers are on that boat, standing on that plank, drowning. You are afraid to exist and to grow. I don't care about your age, motherfuckers. Allow yourself to grow and nurture one another, not to capitulate, but to relearn, but to actually allow it to come back in. You have all that fucked up fake world holding you a fucking hostage. Still let you lock the fuck up. I'm the type of individual, when I hear shit I don't like, I just be like, I turn it off real quick. Click. And I don't explain shit. I already laid down the rules. Like, I'm about the real shit. But the moment I hear some bullshit, click. The fuck? Do I gotta fuck? I'm not reinventing myself, motherfucker. Somebody's not getting it. And I've done that over. Like when I go home and my boy Dan, family, right? He's like, what you doing, Red? I just came by to hang out with you, get the house music dancing and shit on the 9-skin. Now I gotta go knock on some windows and doors, bro. Man, be careful. And he's like, well, I know you. I'm like, yeah, man. Let me go and do what I gotta do. Yo, cuz, remember all that goofy shit you was talking like you knew me, nigga? Yeah, we grew up when we talked out in the back. You want gloves or you just want knuckles? Every time. And then because I was in Camden or Millville or Vineland, right? The moment somebody, at that time, because I was close, and they was like, that nigga always coming up here. I would stop in. I was mine. What's up, cuz? I ain't somebody say shit. But the moment I made it across the coast, 12 years ago, motherfuckers started all of a sudden they real tough. Yeah, I need a round trip ticket. Hey, Aunt Joe, how's Mom coming? Okay, well, I'm coming to chef for y'all. I'm coming to cook. I'm going to check the refrigerator. I want to walk around them big-ass houses. I want to see what you got. I go home and empty out the refrigerator and buy $400 and $500 worth of food and chef for everybody. Mama's up walking. She ain't walked in years. Everybody's, what the fuck is James cooking? I got to go out, y'all. When I come back, I'm coming with some VSOP and some Hennessy, but I'll be back in about 10 hours. Going for Ave. Trajectory. Miller Street. So-and-so lived there. I don't know if they live there. I'm not asking nobody because I don't want nobody to go, your Red's on his way. I'm pulling up. That's what this nigga. Then they made the street go the opposite direction. I get out, all 245 pounds, 5 foot tall. You want something, nigga? Answer the door. Now they know they said something reckless. Now, I'm not gonna sit here on the fucking phone talking about no. No ego, no nothing. No. Not supposed to do this, bro. And mother was like, oh shit, is that Khalif? Oh shit, we're ready. He just popped up in town. Man, it went over. I go to the restaurant where everybody meet. And it's me and a whole bunch of light-skinned folk. I'm like, well, goddamn, where's everybody at? Motherfucker like, well, damn, did we say anything negative to him? I'm there to fucking air out some shit. I want to hear what a motherfucker got to say. I'm not with all the rah shit. For my time in North, people know me in Broad Market, Veterans Park. I'm not with it. I don't like the world of lies. When I divulge something and I say something, you better take it fucking serious and put away your fucked up self. We are in a time of not just adverse motherfucking reactions of what they've done. We are in a time where we subjugated ourselves to that shit and we enacted upon each other. And then we want to walk around like we have clarity. There ain't no clarity there. They have done a fucking good job, these sick bastards. And I'm not getting a hand, so I'm not doing that. I'm not getting a golf clap. Fuck that. I'm saying a whole lot of folk refuse to say I'm sick. But goddamn it, I'm not going to be sick the rest of this goddamn day. Nobody's saying that. People running around with this black and white shit. You come talking to me talking about, yeah, I was a white man. Bitch, I'll spit in your face. That's an assault. No, nigga, that uppercut was an assault. Now pick your shit together and go get them porcelains. I don't advocate violence. I'm just stating the fact. A lot of badass. I remember when I was learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before it was even there was no UFC. It was in Brazil, 1987. And I've been there a few times, y'all. Oh, I told you I went to the Pink Pussycat. I'm sitting there waiting on something to eat, and motherfuckers walk out on stage. This guy's got a horse, hung like a horse, and I'm like, what am I watching? What is this? I'm grabbing. So can I get the food to go? Can I get the food? What's that smell? And then it's like everywhere I want to get a restaurant and sit down and think I'm gonna let's watch some jazz, some stuff. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Somebody on the stage. Y'all don't get it, man. This world has been done dirty by these fake ass goddamn Jews. They're sick. Now they got a whole lot of folks that they've created and put war against and made hate. They done made you look like the bad guys in the media and everything else. Now, motherfuckers come here like you ain't done nothing. That's the reason why I read about our inventions. There's a reason why I asked, well, who rebuilt the motherfucker during the motherfucking Reconstruction area? They always want to say the Franklin or the White House. It ain't no White House. The Franklin House, this and another. I said, no, we built it all. You ain't build shit. Y'all build shit, don't even stand for 10 years. We got shit still standing from the cobblestone, the brick motherfucking cities and roads to the brownstones and everything else that you motherfuckers ain't built, that you just occupied, from our electric vehicles, our hemp and everything that the motherfuckers stole, everything. And we're supposed to sit here and capitulate to a bunch of dumb niggas and every fucking body else. And I'm talking about they all below us as if you're fucking something. When I walk around, do you know what? I walk around with my head so fucking high, niggas be like looking like, who the fuck? And I look them dead in their eyes, empty. Well, actually, I'm full. They're empty. Okay? But I look as if I'm empty. Like, nigga, just move, say something wrong, look at me a certain way so I can take your soul. Y'all don't walk like that. I've seen some of your videos where you stuttering because you upset at what happened and how you dealing with these goofy motherfuckers in costume. A lot of these police officers are fake Jews, converts. When I said 87 of them Jews, I was being real nice over there in so-called Palestine, are fake. They're converts. What's wrong? Come and challenge me, you fake Jew fuck, because you're all getting this thing talking about our Messiah here. Go ahead and act crazy. What kind of shit is that? Come act crazy with me. I'm going to show you why this ain't Palestine. Yeah, niggas want to still run around separated and divided. Don't know what a real good time is. Want to be in control. I had another friend talking about, yeah, I just got married. So the fuck what? So you're both in control of each other. That's all the fuck it is. You can never get me to do one of these fake ass marriages. You give me 5 good fucking women, I'll give you 1 bad motherfucking man. But see, the problem is the women are so fucking broke. So the power is all over the place. So that means it's E. It's just all over like a capacitor. You done touched on the wrong side and your ass is laying dead from a fucking couple of ohms. And the worthless ass niggas who what woman want to be one by himself with these worthless fucking niggas? You need about 4 women with them dumb motherfuckers and a couple of good niggas to make sure he don't get online so he realize his real motherfucking place is to protect them goddamn women with other good men who got many other women, because it used to be where our women could pick up and fight. I told you about my great grandma. She was laying motherfucking peckerwoods out left and right. Told you I was on broad and that motherfucker came out, did some dumb shit, and mama slid his ass up under the truck. One hit quitter. Grandmama Tina's hands big. My hands ain't as big as her now. Hit that motherfucker, his ass slid. But I said, what the fuck? Now I was young. We going to Woolworth and shit. Ain't nobody say shit to her. Ain't nobody run out that motherfucker talking about, nigga, just hit a white man. No. Going to the fish market, Woolworth Fish Market, and back up. Grove. I was right there. Little ass motherfucker. Boy, they could have took me and filleted my ass. Nobody wants to hear that. Because the world is still holding a picture. Like, see, when I say King James, right? When I first saw the picture of his drawings and how he was dead and bloated, I was like, this is a black motherfucker. Told you I went to Edinburgh, Scotland. Got to meet some motherfucking Masons. Only a handful since motherfucking World War I or World War II. Got to meet these motherfuckers. I got a story to tell. But anyway, every time I went back to the ship, or every time I came back on this land, I felt further and further away from everybody. Mama Tina always made sure Miss Winston would try and beat it out of me, saying, don't, you're going to get us killed, because she was still scared. These are old folk, more than 1800 type motherfuckers, all right? One, making sure I know a language, I know some things, called me home on the show because I played with foxes and shit that motherfuckers to start. The goddamn foxes ain't killing. No, the boy was out there natural. They was just running around playing and they're a little biting and nibbling. But Jimmy, he loved this shit. Jimmy, my aunt called me Jimmy Mac. When you're coming back, I arrived a little sooner than motherfuckers. I just didn't accept who I was. And she said, I'm gonna call you Homer, Red. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna call you Homer on the shoulder. And my mama Tina had a way of saying it different. It was a fucking weird sound. Oh, okay. So in high school, I let a few people call I was breakdancing. They, call me Wiz, Kid the Wiz. I'm Jay Wiz. I'm on the shoulder. What the fuck is that? Red Wolf. I'm like, nigga, what? I thought everybody knew they was Indian. American Indian. And then all of a sudden, here's my Uncle John Emmons playing Roots and all that goofy shit. Hell, we knew in high school last year as hell he was a fraud. I bet you niggas ain't find out until the 90s or some shit. We already knew. How we read books and shit. One of the most prestigious high schools we went to. Buzz Aldrin and all them kind of motherfuckers, traders. Oh, a lot of traders niggas came from where I'm from. I mean, when they wanted to assassinate Malcolm, I don't want to hear nobody talking about he wasn't assassinated, goofy motherfuckers. They went to Newark, New Jersey over there to get the niggas to do that. Or they go down to South Carolina. I mean, come on, look at old Frank. A lot of people think they really, really something, and they don't get it, man. We're supposed to be something together. We're supposed to be without all this shit and chopping it together, where they always like, what the fuck are they doing now? But see, they got y'all doing what they need y'all to do and what they want you to do because of some sellout faggot niggas. You'd be surprised how many of these niggas in the industry are some sick fucks, man. But they got y'all worshiping and idolizing them. You ever watch some of these videos when motherfuckers is dancing and singing? I was so happy to watch that damn P. Diddy and Lil Wayne when Lil Wayne was talking about P. Diddy all standing in the videos and but there was a purpose, man. There was a purpose with that. But what did y'all do with it? You ain't do shit with it. Like Andre 3000 telling you that, that you're listening to the music, you ain't listening to the words. He got tired of attempting to tell you motherfuckers and he got away from it. He went on his own little tour, just like Mos Def. Regardless of Mos Def claiming to be more, probably is. So what? But he also knows it's binding to this land. I have no problem with that. Did he? Yeah, now he was a plant. He was groomed just like Obama. I always see niggas in Brooklyn when I lived in Brooklyn. We say, but what the fuck this nigga going to what? He going to a private school. Oh, and then we meet some of the motherfuckers. You know, law school. I used to meet some of these motherfuckers and I listen to them talk. Oh shit, they grooming motherfuckers to be fucked up over in these schools. Holy shit, it's like Immaculate Conception over in Montclair and everywhere else. They groom motherfuckers. They get certain motherfuckers. They know the family and they get a separate education and nobody get to see. Now you see these motherfuckers in Fortune 500 clubs and this, that, and this, working at the stock market, fucking with yours, and know what they're doing. And then you see like Cory Booker in Newark. He was a sellout the moment I met him when I was in Newark. I was like, what's this worthless nigga? Oh yeah, well, he lives in the projects. Oh man, here we go with this shit. And then I looked at how dumb the niggas was and how much they followed it. And then I realized shit was worse than I can imagine. It was worse than I can imagine. You know what's funny about the ghettos and the projects? The fake Jews use that to have secret meetings to come together. But they got the niggas running around separated and divided and fighting and killing each other over chump change and goofiness. But it was always some alphabet Greek fraternity motherfucker or some worthless ass Masonic nigga. Because I saw one on Facebook talking about, I'm a Mason. Ain't oh, I was getting ready to comment, but I don't have no feelings or emotions. I was like, whatever, you dumb motherfucker. And I said, obviously, this motherfucker might have heard what I said. When you say it to me, motherfucker, and I'll break it all down for you. Because I'm tired of dumb niggas. So if you belong to one of them fraternities, you hold on to it, because you can be conditioned to accept whatever it is, and then you'll hold on to it. That's what's wrong with niggas. We put a death grip on the wrong shit instead of on one another and hold each other and keep shit right. You dig what I'm saying? Niggas is dumb. I guess it's time to stop being niggas then, ain't it? These motherfuckers did a job, man. Let me read a little bit of this shit right here. If you don't have this is an excellent book. I don't know. You might be able to get the PDF. I don't know. You know, I've read Arthur Kessler's a couple of times. This one I'm going to read as I feel, just like 100 Years of Lynching. I have another book that shows all the Pale Skins and Spaniards that were lynched and the purpose. Because you'd be surprised at how many of them want to go along with this shit. So what they do, the fake Jews who created the Klan, rally people up and had a woman out there, the fake Jewish woman. The little boy blew a kiss at me to see how sick the motherfuckers are, knowing good and well that these are cousin fucking motherfuckers. So anyway, this is all. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? That is Galatians 4:16. Now you need to be mindful that a lot of things in scripture, regardless of how its context was changed or whatever, it comes from our old world. Even if it was made up, but it was the way it was written. And these things are very helpful and useful if you can put the puzzle pieces together. Don't lament yourself in what they've done because they have fucked with everything. Be smarter than that, or wiser, excuse me. Facts Are Facts by Benjamin H. Friedman. Here's a Jew who got tired of the bullshit, who was part of Zionism. Did I know it? Now, when we say I know it, from last one I was talking about as far as the Colonel House and this, that, and what was going on in 1916 in London, the Zionists, the whole movement of how it came, the British War Cabinet, the fact that Germany was fighting Russia on behalf of the fake-ass Jews because they hated the Tsar, because he was a remnant of the old war of Tartaria and still told the stories. But the Bolshevik Wars showed you that the fake Gujars were all throughout there, UK and everywhere. They had already pushed out the original inhabitants and caused them to migrate into what you call now Africa. By way through Ethiopia, because the Ethiopians and the Hindus, Bangladesh and all that, they were part of that, pushing them because they didn't want no part of it, because all that is part of so-called Africa, Ethiopia. It was called the Ethiopian Sea. It's a fact. And they had took it back to Atlantic because they had realized that that's where the foundation was. Let me slow down. So the first segregation and migration were the people of Europe. Well, a lot of them were our relatives. There were people in Macbullan who were niggas. This is Africans. You will call them that today. There were people that were there. But there was a whole lot of them Gujars there. And when they came up out of there, listen to me, they used to call them desert devils because they were cannibals, murdering people. But who civilized them? They say the Moors did. I'm tired of this fucking term. Fucking migraine. It's a new term. But when you look at all the melanated people of Europe, the stock there, the original people, by calling them Moors, you create this out of Africa bullshit. That means you remove them from the land. That's how stupid motherfuckers is. The original Europe is named after an Algonquin fucking queen, not some fake president of a corporation, all this new age dumb shit. The people here who controlled the land, though it was mitigated between everybody equally, there was no rulership or totalitarian force, all right, was a Khan or a fucking king and queen. Lincoln was no fucking president. He was the last of a Khan, a bloodline, a nigga. Go watch Holiday Inn, goddamn, with Bing Crosby. I don't want to say no more about that, 1941. I don't, fuck what you think. Buy some real books, okay? So they're the ones that created it. So they had to get rid of Nicholas Tsar. He was the last of a truth. All right? Him and his family. Who had no race. He didn't hate no melanated people. In order for them to create this black bullshit and further pursue it and push it, they needed to get rid of the last remnant of the Tartarian forces. That's the whole purpose of the Ring and Cedars. Vladimir motherfucking Merge. I know y'all like, when you gonna read that one? When I read that one, I would like to see us all sitting down in a big ass hot tent with half of it 5 to 6 feet underground, and everybody sitting around with the heater on, having a nice thing of some herbal tea. Everybody having true affection, fuck the word love, affection for one another that's meaningful. And I sit down, as I sit down for the sisters in Montclair in Florida in the bookstores and read to them. The children and everybody. That's how I would like to be able to read it. We're no longer visionaries. What the fuck happened? All right. So anyway, not to be the long horse in the head, that's where we're at. This is where we're all inclusive to what Zionism, how it came about, what was happening between 1912, when you think about World War I, 17, and how about the war that was what wasn't. 7 years, the Crimean War, which was the first time, before there was no wars, people was conquering the lands, raping the children, and I told you there's 1,000 years, remove 1,000 years from this time frame. Then you get back to the original year. But what's funny is when you look at the Roman calendar, you got Roman level 1. You don't have no fucking 0. Where's the start base? And you have BC and AD. What, like, make it make sense. Nobody wants to have that conversation. Your existence is much older than you can imagine. All right? So let's go ahead and listen to this. All right? Just listen. So again, did I know it? I had a pretty good idea of what was going on. I was a liaison to Henry Morgenthau, Sr., in the 1912 campaign when President Wilson was elected. And there was President Wilson, you already know what role he played, he was a fake Jew himself, was elected. And there was elected for the president. That means the corporation people. And there was talk around the office there. I was confidential man to, I was confidential man to Henry Morgenthau, Sr., who was chairman of the finance committee. And I was liaison between him and Rollo Wells, the treasurer. How many of y'all know about Rollo Wells? Okay. So I sat in these meetings with President Wilson at the head of the table and all the others. This is Mr. Friedman, Benjamin H. Friedman, who said, all right, now listen. I sat in these meetings with President Wilson at the head of the table and all the others. And I heard them drum into President Wilson's brain the graduated income tax and what has become the Federal Reserve, which is a fraud. It's not even a Ponzi, it's just a fraud, y'all. And I heard them indoctrinate him with the Zionist movement. Now, Justin Brandeis and President Wilson were just as close as the two fingers on this hand. President Woodrow Wilson was just as incompetent when it came to determining what was going on as a newborn baby. That is how they got us into World War I. While we all slept, they sent our boys over there to be slaughtered. For what? So the Jews can have Palestine as their commonwealth. You see how long it took? All the way up until 1938 when it was proposed, 35 to 38, and then 48, right? And you see what they did to the Palestinians. They fooled you so much that you don't know whether you're coming or going, people. Now, any judge when he charges a jury, and we know there's no judge here, only the Supreme Court has actual judges, but those have been bought out somewhat. These are fiduciaries, not even magistrates. Now, any judge, when he charges a jury, says, "Gentlemen, may any witness who you find has told a single lie, you can disregard all his testimony." I don't know what state you come from, but in New York State, that is the way a judge addresses a jury. You don't hear that no more. You do, but it's a synopsis. It's a far cry from the truth, because you're already guilty until proven innocent. Otherwise, you wouldn't be shackles wearing some black is the orange is the new black. I mean, they had the Statue of Liberty with a goddamn orange goddamn jumpsuit on, parading a big statue of effigy through the streets, letting you know everything about this fucking land, but you don't want to hear Bonacci and everybody else. You want to listen to these worthless, dumb niggas who don't know nothing. So anyway, if that witness told one lie, disregard his testimony. Wow. What are the facts about the Jews? I call them Jews to you because they are known as Jews. I don't call them Jews to myself. I refer to them as so-called Jews because I know what they are. This is Henry Friedman. The Eastern European Jews, who form 92% of the world's population of those people who call themselves Jews, were originally Khazars. We say Chazars or Gujars. They were a warlike tribe who lived deep in the heart of Asia. And they were so warlike that even the Asiatics drove them out of Asia, the niggers, the original people, into Eastern Europe. That's why they hate us. They set up a large Khazar kingdom of 800,000 square miles at the time. And Russia did not exist because they had to kill off the original Georgians, who were the Abkhazarians, who fought in World War I. But after that nice longsword going all around in Europe, Germany, and everywhere, they murdered the last, just like the Boxer Rebellion in China, of the indigenous people, the autochthonous of those lands, our relatives, the four corners of the true Hebraic or Judean people. Fuck with me if you want. I've been there and I know what I'm speaking of. The Khazar kingdom was the biggest country in all of Europe, so big and so powerful that when the other monarchs wanted to go to war, the Khazars would lend them 40,000 soldiers. That's how big and powerful they were. And they would be the ones that would leave and would rape the women and make these new babies in these places. They were phallic worshipers, dick worshipers, which is filthy. And I do not want to go into the details of that now. That's why when I saw them in Japan with the big schlong, that is not what the Anu people did. That's the people that went and conquered the land, these two bastards. Call themselves Jews and Gujars. Just like in China, the two people that went there and conquered the land and drove the original light-skinned white people and black people. They had to break us up. And then many of the light-skinned folks, because they created this fake white power movement to subjugate us, to create the divide, that was called Cathay, if y'all who want to call it China, the land of Xi. Motherfuckers don't want to hear this. Okay? I'm the one that was in the 80s showing people, light-skinned folks, I don't use the word white, who have Negro and black on their birth certificates, motherfuckers. Me. Brothers serve me and tell you, yeah, man, I always thought I was white. I ain't know I might be one of y'all and shit. You just don't got the card to say nigger because it comes from the Digger tribe. So it's not really a disrespect. It's an elevation. But we shouldn't be using it because it shows that the language we speak now is not the true language of our ancestors. Go take your ass down to Baton Rouge and down in the Mississippi and the bayou all the way up and listen to them old folks talking. You be like, boy, they'll fuck your head up. You be like, what language is that? But when you tweak and fine tune some shit, then you hear a little bit of that. You know what I mean? We're so phenomenal, they had to create a whole new dictionary called Eubonics. Come on, motherfuckers. Anyway, they were phallic worshippers. They were phallic worshipers, which is filthy, and I do not want to go into the details of that now. Well, that was their religion, as it was also the religion of many other pagans and barbarians elsewhere in the world. The Khazar king became so disgusted with the degeneracy of his kingdom that he decided to adopt the so-called monastic faith, either Christianity, Islam, or what is known as today as Judaism, which is really Talmudism. I keep telling y'all, but it's not our religion. They took our history and created this shit. But people think I'm crazy, right? I keep following them fake ass Hebrew niggas and shit. Okay? I'm just making shit up. Like I don't have two Jewish uncles. Yeah, they darker than me and they're German, but keep fucking around. Keep listening to these goofy motherfuckers who don't know nothing. So Judaism is really Talmudism. I told you who created the rabbis and made this fake up religion. And regardless of where it came from, but it is what it is. By spinning a top and calling out eeny, meeny, miny, mo. He picked out so-called Judaism, and that became the state religion. He sent down to the Talmudic schools of Pompeii, I forget how to pronounce that word, y'all, and Surah, and brought up thousands of rabbis and opened up synagogues and schools, and his people became what we call Jews. There wasn't one of them who had an ancestor. You know what a rabbi was like a scribe, somebody who knew some languages to scribe, because their rabbis couldn't even decipher our old text in our true language. That's why they had to create these little AEI, these little vowels, and put it on their Yiddish language. Because Yiddish is not Hebrew. It's not Hebrew. Okay? Anyway. He picked out so-called blah rabbi, right? Blah, thousands, open up synagogues and schools, and his people became what we call Jews. There wasn't one of them who had an ancestor who ever put a toe in the Holy Land. Not only in Old Testament history, but back in the beginning of time. Not one of them. And yet they come to the Christians and ask us to support their armed insurrections in Palestine by saying, you want to help repatriate God's chosen people to their promised land, their ancestral home, don't you? It's your Christian duty. We gave you one of our boys as your Lord and Savior. You now go to church on Sunday and you kneel and you worship a Jew, and we are Jews. But they are pagan Khazars who are converted just the same as the Irish were converted. It is as ridiculous to call them people of the Holy Land as it would be to call the 54 million Chinese Muslim Arabs. Muhammad only died in 620 AD. So if you remove 1,000 years, this is only 1024. And since then, 54 million Chinese have accepted Islam as their religious belief. Now imagine in China, 2,000 miles away from Arabia, from Mecca. In Muhammad's birthplace, imagine if the 54 million Chinese decided to call themselves Arabs. Well, most of them actually can. You would say they were lunatics. Anyone who believes that those 54 million Chinese are Arabs must be crazy. All they did was adopt as a religious faith a belief that had its origin in Mecca, in Arabia. That's not its origin, but this is a Jew. He knows what he knows, okay? The same as the Irish. When the Irish became Christians, nobody dumped them in the ocean and imported to the Holy Land a new crop of inhabitants. As you know, they killed their dark-skinned brothers. See, somebody asked me, and I told you I have a story to tell. In Scotland, Ireland, everywhere, there was melanated and light-skinned folk. Believe what you want. I really don't give a fuck. Just as in Egypt is a period right before Tartary that we had to stop Egypt, and that's why we established where everybody moved together because they saw the darkness. And here we are, but they're making sure that we can't do it again. I'm here to tell you that if you stop focusing on everything out here and start actually listening and focus your energy where it needs to be focused at, we could do any fucking thing we want. Excuse me. When the Irish became Christians, nobody dumped them in the ocean and imported to the Holy Land a new crop of inhabitants. They hadn't become a different people. They were the same people, but they had accepted Christianity as a religious faith. These Khazars, Chazars, Gujars, these pagans, these Asiatics, these Turco-Finns are not truly Asiatics. We all are. Everybody is actually. Turco-Finns were a Mongoloid race who were forced out of Asia. Again, these Turco-Finns were a Mongoloid race who were forced out of Asia into Eastern Europe. Because their king took the Talmudic faith, they had no choice in the matter, just the same as in Spain. If the king was Catholic, everybody had to be a Catholic. If not, you had to get out of Spain. So the Khazars became what we call today Jews. Now imagine how silly it was for the great Christian countries of the world to say, we're going to use... Now, Talmudic niggas were those who started doing the satanic shit, controlling narratives and things they weren't supposed to. But they couldn't teach the true Hebraic language because they were so steeped and cursed and aligned with the perversions. We're going to use our power and anyway, today's Jews. Now imagine how silly it was for the great Christian countries of the world to say, we're going to use our power and prestige to repatriate God's chosen people. No, then you would have the relationship between the Negro and the Jews. To the ancestral homeland, their promised land. Could there be a bigger lie than that? Because they control the newspapers, the magazines, the radio, the television, the book publishing businesses, and because they have the ministers in the pulpit and the politicians on the soapboxes talking the same bullshit language, it is not too surprising that you believe that lie. You would believe black is white if you heard it often enough. You wouldn't call black black anymore. You'd start to call black white. And nobody could blame you. I never read this book. I gave you the same synopsis I've been giving people over 28 years, that if I took a bunch of children and taught them red was black and black was red, that I could bring them back through 3 generations and start a war on that merit alone. That is one of the great lies of history. It is the foundation of all the mystery that has befallen the world. These fake ass Jews. Do you know what Jews do on the Day of Atonement that you think is so sacred to them? I was one of them. This is not hearsay. I'm not here to be a rabble rouser. I'm here to give you facts. When on the Day of Atonement, you walk into a synagogue, you stand up for the very first prayer that you recite. It is the only prayer for which you stand. You repeat 3 times a short prayer called the Kol Nidre. And that prayer, you enter into an agreement with God Almighty that any oath, vow, or pledge that you may make during the next 12 months shall be null and void. Why do you think that our treaties don't stand with these fucking maggots, but you got a bunch of fake-ass native Mongols running around playing a role with them because they're in their fucking pockets? Whether knowingly their elders or ignorance their youth. The oath should not be an oath. The vow should not be a vow. The pledge should not be a pledge. They shall have no force or effect. And further, the Talmud teaches that whenever you take an oath, vow, or pledge, you are to remember the Kol Nidre prayer that you recited on the Day of Atonement, and you are exempted from fulfilling them. How much can you depend on their loyalty? You can depend upon their loyalty as much as the Germans depend upon it in 1916. We are going to suffer the same fate as Germany suffered, and for the same reason. Break the fucking silence. Y'all can still donate for my books. I ask. I don't need it. Y'all know I'm well off. Because I read the fucking books that you help me purchase, which I pay mostly for. Okay? And that's because it was an experiment. But this is what I did. I did this because of why? Who remembers? Because everybody needs to work the fuck together. And if you can't donate a couple of dollars for a fucking book, what makes you think I need you to be swinging a pickaxe and digging and shoveling with a shovel next to me? Or cooking when I'm chefing for 100 people, if that's the case. What the fuck makes you think I want you next to me? So anyway, I got to go to the post office and see if I got any books coming or anything, all right? And I got to pick up, for these. Check these out. Somebody mailed me these from Temu. I showed them to, I think Westside was here when he saw them, but I want to show you these. I was surprised. I was like, thank you. I don't want nothing from Temu. People. It might have lead in the fucking paint I'm touching. You can't wash it. But check this shit out, bro. I want to show this again. I'm going to put this in the frame. I don't give a fuck if it's lead, arsenic, whatever. God damn, that is fucking excellent. Hold on. There's one more. Nigga, I gotta put this in something. Look, this is gonna be with us. Teach the kids the truth. Instead of some whitewashed motherfucking Bogart, whatever that motherfucker and all the mother tellers, Elizabeth Tellers and all them frauds that played in Charlton Heston, fake motherfucking Jews who played them roles of our ancestors and people. So, cool. Anyway, let me go ahead and get off of here because I've been on here. I was saying I knew I was going to be on here for a couple hours, but I don't like to be on here that long. But I had to say what I had to fucking say because I'm tired of the stupidity and the dumb shit in the little fake ass world everybody rides around in and all emotionally and all emotionally unstable and fucked up with all these goofy feelings and just broken. Don't know how to enjoy life. Just fucked up. I'm tired. I just had enough. The stupid ass shit. And you would say, but ain't that a feeling emotion? Stop being smart while you're dumb. You're not getting ahead. No. It's because I study this shit. And I look at things. And I look at what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And when my motherfucking people don't make sense, I'm going to say what the fuck I need to say. And I'm going to use some information. But also, I want you to research the shit yourself. And if you feel some kind of fucking way, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. How's that? Not one fucking bit. Because a lot of your feelings are what keep you in the dredges of this fake-ass society. They keep you a citizen of a perversion. When you remove that, then you free yourself up. And you have a little more space for reality. A reality that you can speak power into and make magic. Magic. Tell him, DJ. Okay? I don't like rolling shit unless it's a blunt. Oh, man, look at this. Is that a... Yes, sir. So now, if you come here, you better bring me some good fucking weed. You come over here, you bring some good weed. Now, you stay your ass where you at. Or bring some real good shit. Like my brothers, they be bringing honey, they be bringing good shit. But I'm cooking, I'm a chef, so I'm gonna fucking throw it together. And ladies, just bring your butte. No, y'all better bring something too. Shit. Stop, pick up some good weed. Goddamn it, you ain't no fucking different. We're balanced, motherfucker. No, it's nothing but respect. Y'all know I gotta hit a little fun. Appreciate y'all. What's that? I'm thinking about going back into the book, Negro Theory and Sasuke. Negro Theory. Wow. Yeah. What the fuck do I got that over there? Yo, there's a lot of books on shit, but y'all know what Negro means, where it comes from. Its original dialect is from necromancer. It's a spell, it's a book on spells of death. To take death and blackness to bring to light. That's why black alludes to being something dead. Leathery. This is facts, y'all. I don't care what anybody says. This is ancient shit. And they took that and created a race or identity, this, that has no real meaning. That's why every time I hear people say, no, not you, but you know what I'm saying. You've got to remove that. You're sentient. You are just fucking sentient. The problem is a lot of the people have forgotten, don't know how to transverse to get back to where they need to or come back with the knowledge of knowing, but usually they catch you, the doctor, right? Catch you, rob you, they sever the connection to the truth, and then they embed you and they start blocking. Then they label you with everything dead because you're not existing in your true status, which has nothing to do with color or anything. But that's an excellent book too. Well, information. Anyway, appreciate y'all taking the time. Ladies, brothers, it's a light-skinned dude from Berkeley University who used the trauma of black culture to pull these fools into the bullshit. Yeah, feds. They're agents. You have that book too, right? So yeah, no, I have quite a few. I don't like sharing all my information. Benji, Navi, I got a DJ. What's going on, beloved? Omek, gotcha. I see. It's good to have everybody in here. Y'all follow Navi and y'all follow Baby Girl Slaughter. DJ, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but y'all know when he's in here. Pay attention. He's real good with the linguists and words. He really is. Pay attention, Max V, beloved. Delusions, I got you. Who else? Anybody else come in? It's probably coming off that Polish Commonwealth creation of the late 1870s, which is the actual the 6th, which would be the 700s. Because I keep when I tell people, when I learned that there was 1,000, I used to walk people 500, 800. There's 1,000 years added. That's full of shit. This is not 2024. Not in no way. And then if you know how to remove, if you know exactly when to start to remove the leap year and all that bullshit, then you might even be able to remove a few more years. Just got to do the math. I'm not here to do that. I'm just share the information based upon my opinion of the information that I received. When people come to me, yo, man, it's 25. Oh, man, if you don't get the fuck away from me, that's what I'll be cracking my neck. If you don't get the fuck away from me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll be ready to, like, if you don't get away from me with that, because I know you know I don't believe, that's not my knowledge, that's not my knowledge base, bro. Like, nah, you know? And then somebody be like, don't just let that be, bro. Brad ain't with that shit, man. You can say that to everybody else, man, but because some people attempt to think they're intimidated because, you know, people get, I don't know, it's not 2024. Not at all. Matter of fact, forget the year, forget time even exists. It's important that we do that. But yeah, I like that though. The Commonwealth creation in the late 1700s is a fact. That's real information. Like I said, follow. She does some real good reads. For those who don't know, DJ be over there and a few other people, but everybody, let's support one another, okay? Okay? Really, I'm serious, okay? Probably, I recall, MMA fighter or campaign exposed Jim Fallon and Epstein Island. Yeah, ain't that something, man? Ain't that something? Yo, I'm glad you stated that, bro. Yeah, I'm just going back reading because y'all know they keep blocking y'all out. Yeah, that's another thing. Yes, Jim Fallon about Epstein Island. Yo, that's just, but all of them play a part in that. It's just crazy. I call them dumb, confused. Yeah, you ain't right. You ain't lying, girl. But anyway, grand ascension, everybody, because that's what we need to be working on. We need to be ascending, regardless of everything. Yeah, DJ, champion on the planet with tobacco. Talk about heirloom, no hybrids. I'm trying to talk. Genetics from Thailand, growing them Thai-6 nagas. And that's another word. It's a good word. A lot of people have a hard time with that. Again, during the lockdown, there was an MMA fighter which pleaded to bring down Jim. I know, that's a fact. 3 constitutions being done at the same time. U.S., France, and Polish constitution, all related. And it's from us. We created the original. That's why everywhere it had to be radicalized. And they say ratified. And that's why I read it. I read it over the last few months, last couple of months. And I read it out of William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse. Because I said I really wanted, and I did a breakdown of some stuff because I don't know everything about every one of them. Because I've been reading the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all that, which I have over there, and going through the amendments for a long time. And my great uncles used to say that we wrote the Constitution. I was like, what? Mama T used to be like, Lincoln's a nigga. My great grandma used to be like, Lincoln's a nigga. I was like, what the fuck you mean? We saw him in state. I was like, I had some old motherfuckers in my family. Thank goodness. Yo, Big Red Thomas, what's going on, beloved? What's cracking? So I appreciate everybody. Yeah, Max V, we got you, brother. I know, yeah. Now it's quick, right? You're silent. And there's more people that has exposed that shit in the past goddamn 15 years. People talked about it, but nobody want to hear nothing. Because you know what? You see all these motherfuckers getting caught by these independent ex-military and journalists finding all these kitchen feds, FBI, police, sheriffs, deputy sheriffs, and all kind of motherfuckers on these pedophile sting rings. I mean, literally, they're catching them left and right. So then it begs to say, when they went there, the fake ass FBI went there to Florida to the diddler's house, which I don't give a fuck, right? And went and got the information. They had to hide themselves too. When I said in California, you'd be surprised at the motherfuckers in costume who were part of child trafficking and body snatching. A lot of them motherfuckers in position, and they still sitting there harassing motherfuckers. Come on, y'all. All for what? For $1 or because they perverted? Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I really do. It is now, damn. That's not the right time. You know I hate time. I really do. I think I turned it off. It is 12:33, so I'm gonna get ready to make my meal for my 2:00 meal. I gotta run to the post office, see if I got any books came in. I know someone gonna come to the door, and to my brother over in Leche, I got about 20 books going over to him. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. Lincoln and Boone, Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone was a nigga. All of them was. Shit. LA's named after a nigga that was which called after that fake ass Gujarat set himself as the emperor in the island of Mexico. That's why I keep telling Texas and California wasn't no part of no goddamn Mexico. Stop that bullshit. And people, what do you mean? I said, come on, man. When I told people that California was the name of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, they said, you crazy. I said, but they call it Kakalaki, North and South Kakalaki. And Carolina was the island. They got y'all thinking the islands out there. The island was, I'm telling y'all, look it up for the old original maps. They got everything backwards. Only one is saying is backwards, reverse, upside down, inverted. Look, man. I'm just a message. Nothing else. Balance. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, you're born. I know that, Navy. That's right, baby. You sure is. Anyway. I'm gonna see y'all in a few hours. We'll get we're gonna be picking up DNA of the Gods and Wars of the Anunnaki, right? So I promise that, and we're gonna be reading that, and then we'll get into Heaven Bearers, some more Tartary talk as far as the books, Hoddy Mikowski, William Cooper, because we're in that next part, and we're Heaven Bearers. I know y'all just loving that, but we're also going to be reading the Negro Project to start it, to kick it off, just a couple of paragraphs. We're going to keep it like that because as you see, it all comes together. When you know how to get the books and you could paint a picture that gives you a timeline. For those who know, you're starting to realize I've been painting a picture, like my picture I painted. A lot of people don't believe I painted. This is my real painting. I had the guys touch it. I painted this. I painted this about 15 years ago. And they're like I can't paint, like I can't break dance, like I can't do nothing. I bent well, like I'm supposed to be like everybody else. Okay. Y'all are very talented. Everybody is, you know. But anyway, I've been painting a picture, and I'm using different things to give you a little more structured sound timeline. So that way you can connect. You don't have to have that broken circuit that you really don't understand. You know what I'm saying? We can actually have that connection that makes more sense. All right. So we know up and down. We know a true left from right for those who get into those terms. All right. So appreciate y'all. Donate a couple of dollars. It ain't going to kill you. So I can go ahead and order some more books. Because like I said, when I got 6 of the books for for those who remember me reading Flatlandis, I ordered the one. So I have 2 more books to get on that one. And so we'll order them. They're a little pricey, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do about that. I didn't write them with the prices. And prices will keep going up all over the place. So, and I do have Amazon Prime, but it's still a little pricey. All right. So again, I appreciate you guys. Let me get out of here, check the post office, see if I got a book or 2 in. And about 3:30, we'll get that read in. All right. Appreciate you guys.